Hello everybody, my name is Sugar Song as always, and today I'm doing another time-lapse video of me building Disney princesses in like 8-bit form. It's going to be right in front of the area of Link and Zelda. It's going to be right across from them. So let's get started, shall we? And we're starting out on Snow White here, and I thought her dress would look good with gold and the light blue. Afterwards here, I thought I would put the sand behind the glass here like I did with the Master Chief's helmet, and it didn't look very good, so I went back and I decided to use gold where that is and use yellow wool for the border. And yes, I'm using a sprite texture thing for all the princesses I'm making here, and none of them had smiles in them, and I really wanted to put that in there, so they all get little smiles added onto them. Now I'm starting on Cinderella. Dress here, I decided to go with ice and use dark blue, light blue wool, and also diamonds for her dress. Alright, now I'm going to start on Sleeping Beauty, which is also known as Aurora, if you haven't watched the movie. Okay, so on here, I was trying to figure out what pinks I wanted to use for her dress, and it just really wasn't working out. I was like, okay, let's try a glass for the top accent of her dress, and that didn't look right either. So what I ended up doing is I went with a background pink, like, going behind it and making a darker pink, and then doing the lighter pink wool on top, so basically right in the foreground. So that way it looks a little bit different without actually having go and get another. Up for the next princess, which is going to be Ariel, and I decided to go with her fish form because, just to make her a little bit different than anything else. And I was playing around with greens here in the beginning, as you probably saw, and I decided to go with the darker green wool for the darker colors, and emerald for the lighter colors, and the light green stain clay for the lighter color of green and Portugal here. Also, for her red hair here, I used the same colors that I did in the Master Chief's mask. I thought that would look perfect for her. Alright, moving on to the next princess, which is going to be Jasmine. For the main color of Jasmine's clothes, I decided to go with diamonds because I thought that would be the perfect color for her clothes. And her skin color is a stained clay, which is like a lighter brown. And I thought that was perfect for Jasmine. And now moving into the next princess, which is going to be Belle. Obviously here for Belle, I'm going to be using gold and sand for the highlights and yellow stained clay for the border. And for her hair, I decided to go with a wood look. I thought that would be perfect for her dark brown hair, just like I did with Zelda's hair. Except for, it's just going to be the dark wood and not wood for Belle here. Now I'm setting up for the next princess, which is going to be Mulan. And I wasn't sure exactly which colors I was going to use right away for her dress here, but I ended up using the same reds that I did in Ariel's hair for the red. I thought that looked perfect because like it was like a magenta red, and there really wasn't any of that in Minecraft for that color, so that's what I ended up going with. And for her dress, I decided to use that same dark green that I was going to be using in the gem behind me. But I think it looks way better as Meredith's dark green dress than the teal color that I had there. So that's kind of what I ended up going with instead of like the teal color, and using the borders as black instead of like a darker green. Because there really wasn't any other darker green besides the one I was using. So that's what I ended up going with. next princess, which is going to be Rapunzel, and I'm going to do it with the flowers in her hair for her hair, if that makes any sense. And I thought she turned out really well. Obviously, her hair goes really far down, so it's actually she's going to be propped up by her hair instead of like the dress like everybody else. I was thinking about like making it like where the hair comes out towards you on the bottom of the ground, and I decided not to go that way. But I think how I ended up doing it was perfect. Which is Tatiana, and for her dress I ended up using a lot of different kind of greens and sand to get that perfect color. I actually used sandstone than actual sand, and I think it turned out really well. Alright, and I decided to go with a dark wood for her skin color. I thought that looked a lot looked better than what I used for Jasmine for her, because it is darker than what Jasmine was. Alright, now I'm starting into the next princess, which is going to be Elsa from Frozen. And hers was like probably the most difficult, just because I was like contemplating on using ice for most of this, but then I ended up using ice as a highlight. And also for her cape that she has, I use a glass pane for it, and it just took forever. And at first I was just going to use regular glass, but I was like, it's not thin enough, so I had to use the glass panes. So that's kind of why it ended up feeling like it took forever to get Elsa done. But I was very, very happy with it, and my choices on the materials I decided to use. Starting into the next princess, which is going to be Elsa's sister Anna, and I had a lot of fun making Anna here. She's one of my favorite princesses of the new age princesses, if that makes any sense. Like, obviously, out of the older princesses, I like Belle the most, but out of the new princesses that have been coming out lately, Anna definitely is number one. Alright, starting on the last princess here, and I'm going to make Alice from Alice in Wonderland because I feel that she should be in this lineup. To give Alice her texturized type look of her hair, I decided to use a variety of different kind of blocks to give it that nice look to it. I thought this would be the best way to show off all the finished product of the princesses. And obviously I'm going to work all the way down like I did in the time-lapse video here. I think they all turned out pretty well. Obviously some of them ended up being bigger than the others. I think it's because where I got them from, the pixarts were a little bit different. They weren't from the same area. So more than likely that's why they look a little different than they should, uh, consistently of being taller and smaller than the others. Um, the biggest one was Alice here, and I know most people probably wouldn't agree that she should be in this lineup, but if you ever play Kingdom Hearts, she is one of the princesses that you have to save. So I figured that I would put her in here just because of that. Other than that, I think everyone turned out. There was a few things I had to refill, like Anna's dress, a part in Jasmine's hair was missing, and someone's, I believe it was Ariel's mouth that was missing. So those are just little touch-ups I did outside of the time-lapse build. All this took 4 hours, 42 minutes, and 42 seconds. I think they all turned out wonderfully. Obviously, if I just did one of these or two of these, it wouldn't have been as long as a time-lapse video. So that's why I did them all in succession, since they were so small builds. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know I had fun making them. And I will see you in the next time-lapse video. Bye, everybody.